FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
So the world looked at conservatives, and what it saw was hard-hearted sons of bitches, and that would have been okay if we had been brave, honest, hard-hearted sons of bitches. But being greedy, selfish, hard-hearted sons of bitches, not so good, not so good. Our attitude towards immigration, for instance, in our country and here, it's terrible. I mean, aren't we pro-life? Aren't immigrants alive? Unfortunately, no. A lot of them aren't, after attempting to get here by boat or to cross America's borders, We railed at welfare. We counted it a great victory in America when Bill Clinton confused a few poor people by making welfare rules more complicated. But corporate welfare kept rolling right along, French bread lines, for AIG executives, terrapin soup kitchens, for international bankers. All that was on, The sludge, the dreck of political muck funds flowing to prosperous businesses and individuals, it just got deeper and more slippery, and it stank worse than ever when conservatives were minding the sewage works of legislation, Now, yes, it's true, we got a somewhat lower tax rate under conservative political leadership, but in America, say under George W. Bush, the government was still getting about a third of our income. Now here you are, you're doing good, you're working hard, you're making America strong and prosperous, and the government is getting a third of your pay. Government doing a third of your job? Government doing a third of your laundry? When you go to Hooters, is the government tending bar, making sure that 1 out of 3 margaritas is on the house, If your spouse is feeling romantic and you're tired, does the government come over to your house and take care of foreplay? Actually, when Bill Clinton was president, that could happen. But see, conservatives should never say to the voters, we should never say to the voters, we can lower your taxes. What conservatives should say to the voters is that you the electorate, can raise your taxes. Because you, the voters, you can increase government waste, fraud, and abuse because you can, if you choose, have an infinite number of elaborate and expensive government programs. The only problem is you'll have to pay for them. And the taxes on billionaires ain't going to pay the bill. I mean, Margaret Thatcher had a good line. The trouble with socialism is that sooner or later you run out of other people's money. And see, governments have conservative, liberal, or in the middle. Any kind of government has three ways to pay for the electorate's fiscal irresponsibility. Raise taxes, raise debt, and print money. Government can raise taxes. If it's a flat tax, money will be taken from everyone's pocket, the economy will stagnate, and the poorest and the least advantaged will suffer most. If it's a graduated tax, the money will be taken from rich people's pockets, hampering their ability to make loans and investments, the economy will stagnate, and the poorest and the least advantaged will suffer most. Or the government can print money, inflate the currency, destroy people's ability to plan for the future, wreck the culture of thrift and common sense, give free rein to scallywags to borrow money for scams and pay it back at 10 cents on the dollar, and the poorest and the least advantaged will suffer the most. Or the government can borrow, building up a massive national debt that will cause all of the above things to happen, plus it will fund the Red Chinese nuclear submarines that will be popping up in Sydney Harbor to get some decent Szechuan takeout. And what we actually will get, is all three of these things put together, and the poorest and the least advantaged will suffer most. Honestly,